It seems like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League just can't catch a break. After its first initial reveal received a lot of praise, and every subsequent trailer afterwards was actually pretty well received, the game would finally fall flat on its face when it showed off its gameplay, which everybody hated it. Then there were talks about the game getting delayed again, which would be the third or fourth time, and now the game has officially been delayed. But not a small delay, it actually got a really big delay. So big that the game's not even coming this year. It's only coming next year, February. That's right, the game's new release date is February 2nd, 2024. Basically 10 months of a delay. This game was supposed to come out in May. That's crazy. So how the heck did we all end up here? Well, we have to go back, and we have to first talk about the developers, Rocksteady. Look, Rocksteady are developers that came out of nowhere and they made the Arkham Asylum games, which everybody loves. Batman Arkham Asylum basically changed how superhero games were viewed, and it was a renaissance for superhero games in general. This led to them making 3 games, and of course, after that, nothing was really done. So everybody was waiting for their next title because we knew quality whenever they made a game. When this game was first revealed, there was a lot of hype around it. And then the gameplay came out, and what was it? Well, a typical live service shooter. And everybody hated it. It was just so much hate about the game. So many missteps. First of all, the gameplay was uninteresting. None of the graphics looked that great. Metropolis looked boring. You had to play online even if you were playing alone with no one. And yeah, it just didn't seem any fun. On my end, I was just disappointed. I mean, Rocksteady created a unique game with Batman Arkham Asylum, and they didn't make anything unique in this game. It looks exactly like every other live service game we've ever seen, especially when you have multiple characters, a world to play in, and faceless enemies. It wasn't interesting at all. It wasn't unique. It was a copy and paste job. It even has a battle pass, even though yes, it's cosmetic only. Why is there even a battle pass in it? So there was a lot of disappointment on my side. But people behind the game still stood by it and wanted to praise it and wanted to give it a good go. But the thing is, there was another game that came out just before it, Gotham Knights. And while Gotham Knights wasn't exactly live service, it played like a live service title and was pretty boring after 3 hours. It didn't seem like there was any change for what was going to happen with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It looked basically the same, just with a little bit more better facial capture. That's it. That's all that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League looked like. It looked like Gotham Knights was leading everybody into Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now the game has a 10-month delay. Now, this isn't really crazy. A 10th-month delay isn't really that big in gaming. It happens actually quite often. But the thing is, this game was supposed to come out in May. Usually a delay this close to the release date is only a couple of months, maybe 3 or 4, just to polish the game up. 10 months? 10 months means this game was far away from being completed. I mean, it just basically tells me that they were probably planning to release this game half finished and then just patch in everything later. I mean, that's how it feels if you're going to give this game 10 months to polish it. And that's what they're saying. They're basically trying to just polish the game. Even though I don't think that's just it. I mean, I think they're trying to fix a lot of the issues people have with the title. Now, what are they going to change? Because if they're going to be 10 months of a delay, obviously the game has to change in some way. Now, they're not going to change the live service aspect of the title. I think it would take you another 3 years for you to change that. So when it comes to the live service title, it's going to probably still be in there. They may change how they implement it, like allowing you to play offline and maybe allow you to play offline co-op or something like that. But they're going to keep the live service aspect. So yeah, they'll probably not change the live service aspect too much, just how they implement it, which could be a good thing. Another thing I think they should do is take out the battle pass. Just take it out. Don't put a battle pass in. Hell, you can release costumes and stuff as DLC. That's fine. Just take out that battle pass. It's not worth it. It's lazy. It's just tax on. It's just full of content, and it's full of gameplay, basically. Third, they gotta change the gameplay. Like, the gameplay is just uninteresting. Nothing looks amazing. Nothing looks interesting. Nothing looks unique. Nothing looks like I want to play this game. There's nothing inspiring about Suicide Squad. And that's an issue. I think they have to make it look at least a little bit more cleaner, look a bit better. And the same goes with the city and the graphics. I mean, they gotta change that up too. I think the cutscenes look great from what we've seen, but everything else just looks substandard and subpar. I mean, they've been on this game for what, 3 years, 4 years now? And it looks like it's freaking made 5 years ago. The online only connection also has to go. Like, they gotta cut that out. Just cut it out. What are we in the 2010s? They have to cut that out. But yes, I do think they're still gonna keep the game the same. And I mean, this game was dead on arrival. Let's just face the fact, nobody wanted to play it. It was competing against one of the biggest games coming out this year. So yeah, it was dead on arrival. But I also see this delay as a good thing. This year we are stacked with titles. Stacked from Zelda to Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter, Tekken, whatever Sony's gonna release this year, Diablo 4 still coming out. So there's a lot of games coming out this year. How even Elden Ring's DLC may be coming out this year. So they were really not gonna sell a lot this year. And not to mention, this game was coming out in May. You know what else releases in May? Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. There was no way in hell that anyone was gonna buy Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League over Zelda. That game looks 100% better to play than anything Suicide Squad has shown. So, yeah, they were pretty much dead on arrival with this game. I also think releasing it in February is also a good idea with a delay. There's really not much titles that come out during the beginning of the year. I mean, one of the reasons Hogwarts Legacy was so successful was because it didn't really compete against anything. Yeah, there was a big fan base, but there was nothing to really compete with it on a big scale. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea to release it during that time. But if it does come out, it needs to be a drastic change. It needs to scream, I want to play this game. Otherwise, it's just a band-aid. It's just to stop the big leak that's about to come out from this game and just put a small band-aid over it, and then we don't look like so bad when we actually have the game come out. Because I do think people will still buy the game when it comes out, because there won't be anything else to play. So yeah, so it could be a blessing in disguise, or they could just literally not do anything and the game literally be the exact same thing we saw, which would not look good on Rocksteady or Warner Brothers themselves. So yeah, that's the video. They just got delayed. So tell me down below, how do you feel about the delay? What do you think they're going to change? What do you think they should change? And do you still think the game will arrive dead on arrival? Because I do. I think the game is still not going to survive whatsoever. But hey, it would be interesting to see what they implement in it. So comment down below, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and share the video. I'll see you next time.